So this week, the question is, how can I get good trades? The first week, go back and watch it on YouTube or find it in the Mums and Dads Renovators and Decorators group if you haven't already watched this little series. The first week was all about how can or how do you know what to do, and that's all about planning a renovation. It's really, there's fast videos, and there's a lot of really valuable information in there for you guys. Second week, how can I improve my ability to decide on things? Decision making in a renovation can make the difference between a renovation being arduous or a renovation just going smoothly. I was talking to my builder just before, and he said, like working with you, because I can make decisions on the fly. And it really is something that you can master. And once you do master, your renovation world will be a lot easier. Week 3, how can I get everything I want inside my renovation, which is all about having a budget, working out exactly your must-haves and your might-haves, your nice-to-haves, and tucking those things inside your budget. And if they don't fit inside that budget, looking for alternatives. So go and watch video 3 if you haven't done so already. And tonight, it's all about how can I get good trades? How can I get good trades? So I'm just going to double check that I'm on live in the group. I'm in the right group. Always makes me nervous. Oh, there we go. I can see myself all right. Okay, so how can I get good trades? Number 1, I just want to mention that years ago, it was very easy to get good trades. You'd go via referrals. You'd get people in for a quote. They'd turn up. You'd choose the cheapest quote, or perhaps not necessarily the cheapest quote, but a quote that you really felt aligned with and a tradie that you felt aligned with. And when you said to them, when can you start? They would say in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. But boy, have things changed. So number 1, understand that getting a really good trade team is important, but hiring trades right now is trickier than it was. It requires a little bit more hustle. It doesn't mean, or that doesn't mean that you can't get your renovation completed and that there are not trades out there who will work for you. There are trades everywhere, and you just have to work a little bit harder. So for example, to get trades to come and quote, you might need to call 10 or 11 trades to get 3 people to turn up or 4 people to turn up. And those people who quote, you might have to say yes to the tradie who's available and who you feel that connection with. You just won't have the same kind of selection that we all did a few years ago. Things are changing a little bit. I'm noticing that trades are becoming a little bit more available, and that's a good thing, right? So all of these things, swings and roundabouts, all works out in the long run. So number 1, my number 1 tip, referrals. Referrals, ask around to your friend group and ask them further questions. What was their work like? Did they turn up on time? How did they bill you? How did you feel about what they charged you? All those kinds of extra questions. So referrals. Don't pop a question in a Facebook group and say, does anybody recommend a trade? Because every mum and every auntie is going to suggest their favourite son or nephew who may or may not be a good tradie. They might be a shocker. So don't just kind of throw up a question and expect the referrals to be honourable. Number 2, check online, find out what you can online, research whether they have their licenses and insurance. Check if there's any reviews about them on little things like Yelp or Google. Just Google them and see what comes up. Check with ASIC and the ACCC and see if anything comes up. Make sure that they're registered, like make sure these guys are legit, and just kind of search around for any either really positive feedback, which is great, or any negative feedback. You need to check their credentials and you need to check whether they're good or not. If you've got the opportunity of speaking to someone they work for, even better. Number 3, get multiple quotes, guys. Get lots of quotes if you can. So knowing that it's easiest to compare apples to apples, make sure you're asking them to quote on the exact same tasks. It's really difficult sometimes. You get an excited tradie who says, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. What about if you add that? And you'll end up with a mishmash of quotes that aren't related to the same volume of work. So make sure you stick to your original plans and get those tradies in there to quote exactly as you want them to quote. And like I said before, you might not be able to pick the cheapest. You might have to choose somebody that is available. We might have to select upon availability. So you're looking for quality and you're looking for availability. Check their portfolio. If they've done some work before, see if you can do some drive-bys. They usually will let you talk to somebody, one of their previous clients, and ask questions about their personality as much as their workmanship. And check, guys, check. There's a builder around here has a reputation for doing a volume of work, but his work is not high quality. So you can see that by just standing there and looking at the work that these people have done. So, you know, look for the little cornices and just, you know, the architraves and the skirts, and just look how everything's finished off, and you should be able to tell if those guys have been doing quality work or not. You know, communication, guys. I think here's my number one tip. Drum roll. You can feel it in your loins. There you go. There's the official term for it. You have intuition. You can feel whether you're speaking to a tradie who's going to be the one, like a marriage, not quite like a marriage. You can feel it if a tradie is the one. So when you're communicating, see if they value your opinion, if they're treating you with respect, if they're listening to you, and, you know, just get everything sorted out. They're checking you out as much as you're checking them out. So understand what's happening at those initial inquiry stages. So that's it for me for tonight. I'm just going to pop in the comments. I am, and I have offered one-on-one mentoring at the time this video is going live, which is the 28th of February 2023, for 5 positions only. 2 of those positions are already full. 2 are gone, guys. So if you want live tutoring, live mentoring with me, you're going to have to get on the hop really, really quickly and send a message to my admin, Alana C, at rareteam.com.au. So that's Alana, ALANNAC, at rareteam.com.au. I'll pop it in the comments of this video. If you want to have some kind of one-on-one mentoring, when I say some kind of one-on-one, it'll be you and I working together for 45 minutes to an hour each week. Just you and I, working through whatever it is you need help with, whether it's on a project, whether it's about to get started, whether it's your relationship with your spouse and his thoughts, his or her thoughts, your partner's thoughts on renovating, whether it's getting access to funds and finance, whether it's finding a really good deal, whether it's just moving through the block. You know, if you're watching people who are doing renovations and you wish it was you and you can't seem to get started and you feel like there's some kind of blockage there, then we can work through that together. There's quite a bit of fear attached to renovating if you've not seen it before and you're watching others that are doing particularly well. It's very, very easy for our self-talk to be negative. So there's lots of stuff that I can work with you and help you through. I've helped hundreds of people renovate. I've helped tens of people, decades, is that the word, of people start their own renovation businesses, and I know what goes on in their heads, and I know what went through my own head when I started all of this right back in the day. So I can certainly help you move forward and get you to your goals much, much sooner than you perhaps can do on your own. So big love, guys. Thank you for listening in to another live session. And we'll keep you posted on the topic of next week. Usually I choose my topics from people sending me questions or asking me specifically, or if there's banter in the Facebook group that requires a certain kind of response, I'll think, okay, lots of people are asking about that, so I will cover it during one of my lives. Big love. Cheers. Bye.